Right. You're going to have to forgive the attire. It is absolutely freaking freezing in France. But we've had a delivery of the plants that are basically going to be the tissue culture media. You are meant to follow me. Hello. Right. So these are the plants that are intended to be used for tissue culture. I don't know how well they will have shipped. I ordered them over 2 weeks ago, but the company were concerned about sending things in the cold, and honestly it's been a lot warmer than the last few days, and they still refused to send them. I got onto them yesterday, and I think they kind of gave up and were like, we don't want to be called by this guy all the time. So they've now sent them. They have been bullied a lot in the post. We wanted the smaller ones, like the smaller the better. Yes, these have definitely been bullied. In fact, one has broken off and become its own thing. So that's interesting. So badly packaged. There's a reason why we have no interest in doing large plants, and it's because they're a nightmare to ship. These aren't even large, actually. They could have done this way better. And I don't know what they were so worried about. These are super healthy. They were, I mean, look at that. I don't even know what's what. Yellow Future. I don't even think I bought one called Yellow Future. Yellow Future. I don't remember that being on my list of things that I wanted, but you know. So why did we choose these? Because they're very stable in tissue culture. Okay, this is a Mojito Revolution. This is the one that is... What the hell is going on here? That's not a good plant right now. That's pretty terrible. We're going to grow these out in a grow room. We knew they weren't going to be super healthy. There's a growth that's come off one of them. I have no idea which one. I'm assuming the small black one that I don't think I actually ordered. Yellow Future. There's a lot of... It doesn't look like they've taken much care. Like, this is not from a plant that's anything to do with what was ordered. Like, that's not even the same species. It's great that they put them in these boxes, but it's quite simple to keep them safer in the boxes. You just put a bunch of bubble wrap in. It's not hard. I mean, especially if you're doing it like this. It is freezing cold. Ugh. Let's just move that out of the way. All of these are really mashed up because nothing's stopped them from being mashed up, basically. There's just no packing at all. They've just been shoved in a box and taped together. Like, this is kind of pathetic, actually. I'm not very happy with this at all. As long as the plants are alive, I don't really care, but as a consumer, this is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Blood Fallen. Oh yeah, that one's awesome. It's got a really nice colour on it. Man, these need some TLC. Good job they're going into a grow room. Oh, I think the bottom one looks okay. This is so bad. The problem with me is I just deal with all the issues and I'm not that bothered. But this is definitely grounds to contact them and be like, look, what the hell? You didn't put anything to stop the plants from moving. Like, this is absolutely trash. You can see what they tried to do here. Look, they've just shoved them all in against each other and hoped that will keep them in, but they've used flexible freaking crappy wooden boxes so it doesn't work. Stupid. Another leaf from a random plant. This pot is broken. The thing is, right, what's the point in putting in all the effort to grow these things if they're just going to get snapped in transit because you can't be asked to... It's another Siam ruby. Because you can't be asked to make sure that they're packaged correctly. Like, what's the point? We'll just clean them up, put them in the grow room, get them in the correct freaking temperatures and everything. Hopefully they'll grow pretty quick, but who knows? Who knows? Some of them look nice, at least. Some of them. This is way worse than I thought it was going to be. Way freaking worse. They'd be fine if they weren't snapped, but the fact that they literally haven't, they've just got a wooden thing, wooden crate, and just shoved the plants in and not even attempted to like tie them down or anything. It is pathetic, absolutely pathetic. So now that we have received these plants, what exactly do we need to do? Well, ultimately you can see, as from the first video, they've been heavily damaged in shipping because people don't care once they get your money. And that is why you will end up buying from us, because we do care on every step. There's no point in growing them with massive care if you're not going to ship them with massive care. It's just stupid. Anyway, so what do we do now? Well, these have come out of a frost-proof greenhouse in the north of France. So ultimately, they've been growing in very cold conditions, which have been high humidity. And they've obviously gone through shipping stress, even though it was 1 day shipping. And they've been really smashed about, like really, really smashed about. This is really terrible. I mean, look at the state of that. It's pathetic. So what do we want to do? We want to wean them back into their native conditions, because that's going to make them bounce back a lot faster. And it's going to make them get to the point where I need them to be at a lot faster. So ultimately, Colocasias, they're all tropical plants, which means they're high humidity and high temperature. That is ultimately what it means. But you can't blast them straight away. So right now, we've got the LED lights here. This is set to one of the lowest settings. It's not quite the lowest, but it's pretty much at the lowest. And that is so that the plants get used to having a long period of daylight again, because obviously it's currently winter in France. And along with that, they're currently sat in 12 degrees C. So it's 12 degrees C in here, and the humidity is around 60%. So that humidity needs to be bumped up. That humidity right now needs to be at 70 to 90%. Really, the higher the better. So if you can sit it around 90, 85. And the idea behind that is to keep the moisture in, because you've got snapped stems and, you know, the leaves are all torn and da-da-da. So they're going to be losing a lot of water right now. And humidity really helps plants to grow. The way that I think of humidity is kind of like moisturizer for your skin. I don't know if that analogy really works or not, but it makes your skin much softer and nicer and not itchy. And ultimately, that's what humidity should do for the plants as well. It will make them not as concerned when it comes to growing. So we're going to up the humidity today. We'll be doing that later. We've got a big humidifier in here. It's 15 litres. We will turn that on and set it to around 80%, because right now this tent isn't fully hooked up at all, because it just doesn't need to be. But we've hooked in some fans and the air system, and obviously the LED, and the humidifier stands alone. That's got its own brain in it, so that's fine. And one other thing that we need to do is make sure that the temperature slowly rises. We can't just cook them. We cannot just put them straight to their 24-ish degrees that they're used to in the wild, and that's what they grow best at. So we need to, at the moment, like I said, there's 12 degrees. We're going to bump that to 15 degrees today. We're going to keep it at a constant 15 degrees. That's going to be the lowest. And then after around a week, that's when we'll start upping the lighting, and we will up the temperature as well. We will up it to around, probably around 18 to 20 degrees, somewhere in there. 18 might be the safest. It depends how well they're doing. If they've started to show signs of growth already, then we'll bump it to 20. But if not, then we'll keep it down at the 18 so that we don't completely blast them. And obviously that'll also tell us how much light to use. If they're growing loads, then we can probably turn the light up a bit more. So it's just kind of a game of waiting and watching and slowly moving things up to their normal rainforest growing conditions. And as of right now, they're going to be in crazy shock, dormant. We've got 2 pots that are completely dormant. They're actually the same plants, which is strange. There must be a softer plant. But yeah, there's plenty of plant material in these pots. I can give them that, but the shipping is just absolute trash. So hopefully after around 2 to 3 weeks, we should have some really nice growth in here. And at that point, we will look to start tissue culturing them. So around Christmas time, actually now. We've been here just over 2 months, which is not as quick as I wanted it to be, but we're still moving forward. We've got a flow hood coming tomorrow, and then I don't know when the autoclave's coming, at some point soon. So we're getting there, we are getting there, and these were really important because sourcing plants was becoming a bit of a nightmare. And now we've got these, we don't have to worry quite so much. We still have a big waiting period while we allow them to grow a bit and be a bit healthier so that we can take healthy tissue into tissue culture, because obviously we don't want to kill the plants when we do it. But yeah, that's ultimately, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be slowly de-acclimatizing them back to their normal conditions, and that is what is going to make them grow faster. If you want any plant to grow really quickly, you need to find out what their actual conditions in the wild are meant to be, and then you can slowly, gradually get them back to those conditions, and they should flourish at that point. I mean, these are all pretty quick growers, so once they come out and are nice and happy, hopefully, they will start to really shoot. So I think this is probably going to be a standalone video, and I just wanted to make it so that you understand how plants actually work, how to acclimatize them. If you do get them trashed in the mail, humidity is your friend. Unfortunately, if they're trashed and you're putting them into house conditions, they will still come back, but it will take quite a long time. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you have any tips, then please put them in the comments below. People will find them helpful, even if they don't really apply to us, as we've got obviously professional grow tents and things. But if you do have tips for us, again, comments. We don't know everything. And as I said, thank you for watching. We will see you very soon.